show to telephone.
And hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Kyle the Pug Sports Review Show, episode number 21. That is right. We are here. We are live, and we are on the air for episode number 21 of the Kyle the Pug Sports Review Show. Now, of course, I am Kyle the Pug, aka Kyle Loading. You can call me whatever you want. It doesn't matter. Now, before we get started with today's show, I wanted to say this. I have not been posting any videos on this channel for quite a period of time due, of course, school kicking my ass, life objectives, stuff like that. And it's hard for me to keep up with these schedules since, of course, when you got all these things in the way, then it's kind of hard to balance in between, your videos and this channel and whatnot. And, of course, I have my main channel, which I do upload, most of the time, I upload, 3-4 videos most of the week. I'm not quite sure. I mean, depending on my schedule and whatnot. But anyways, this channel, it's not dead. I appreciate you guys subscribing to this channel and for, purposes. Not just the purposes of, of course, you want to be interested in my channel. But, of course, I did a giveaway, Infinite Warfare Season Pass giveaway. Go check that out. I'll put the link in the description below. I mean, if you guys want to stay active in my channel, that's awesome. I mean, I recommend you do so, too, because I will be posting many more of these videos on this channel down the road. I mean, I apologize for the absence that happened. Just things kind of got caught in the way, and hopefully that will end sooner or later, because I really don't want to abandon this channel, and I want to get this channel up there to the respect it deserves. So, that being said, I am Kyle the Pug, aka Kyle Loading. Hopefully, and again, this channel, it's not going to die. Don't worry, it's not dead. I just haven't been active on this channel lately. But we are back, and when I mean we, that is we meaning not just me is back. And, of course, we have the weird individual with us. But, of course, he's our, podcast partner, sports partner, broadcast partner, whatever you want to call him. He's here with us. It's Cowboy Nick.
How y'all gonna vote today? Cowboy Nick. Cowboy Nick. Don't need to stop Cowboy Nick. Alright, yes, I'm here. No, I'm not clearing. I will always say my prayers, and I eat my vegetables, and I go out there and I do all this stuff, and I go out there and just Alright, thank you. Don't get cracked. But
well, it sounds like you're on crack right now.
I don't own any crack. I just own drugs that are given me by my doctor for epilepsy, and you know what? They're great. They make you sleep good and all that stuff. Kids don't do drugs, but it's all good, it's all here and all that stuff.
And you also said eat your vitamins and say your prayers. What are you, Hulk Hogan?
Maybe, but I don't do steroids.
Right. But anyways, we
And
gotta.
And I'm not all American, and I don't ride around on a motorcycle. I wish I could, but I'd probably crash into something.
Yeah, your dumbass probably would crash into something. But anyways, let's get into the topics for today. So we're going to be talking about Vin Scully and, of course, Derwin James of Florida State Seminoles, who's going to be missing for a few weeks, 5 to 7 weeks exactly after knee surgery. But first, we're going to recap Week 1 of the NFL football season. Now, for those who don't know, the NFL season just got underway. And it's been, quite a set of interesting games that happened, over the Week 1, for Sunday's football games. Of course, Thursday, of course, we had the Broncos-Panthers and the Broncos winning on the last-second drive. And, of course, we had Sunday's matchups as well. So, Nick, I want to ask you something. What intrigued you in the Week 1 of the NFL season? What game made you most more excited? I can't even speak today. What game made you the most excited? What were you excited to see out of that?
Well, I was excited. The first game that made me excited was actually, there was two games that made me more excited. One was the Bengals and the Jets. I did not think the Jets would lose at home, because if you look at it, the Jets are strong at home. The second game that I thought
Not exactly.
And the second game I thought was intriguing to me, but it was a 1-point game. I was intrigued by the Cowboys. Keep winning, or losing, or just be good guys. and the Giants. I didn't think the Cowboys, even though I like the Cowboys, would be able to hold a team like the Giants after what they did with the Patriots to that one point in that game. But I was intrigued how the defense of the Cowboys has moved up in that since what they were a couple of years ago, and I'm just like, wow, seeing that in this first week. Also, I was also intrigued by how the Broncos and the Panthers held themselves to a 1-point game in this one. You're seeing a lot of teams doing this, and when you look at the Broncos, you look at a team that's usually an offensive team, and the defense is kind of lacking, but they actually held a team that does have a good offense when you think about it, and that's the Panthers. Kyle?
Okay, I'm going to tell you a couple of games that kind of got me excited as well. And I'm talking about the first one is that the Lions over the Colts in Indianapolis. I mean, the Lions came in as the underdog. I mean, now the shootout part, that kind of got me, though, because the Lions now, they got a shutdown cornerback, and, of course, the Colts got that high-caliber offense. They have Andrew Luck, T.Y. Hilton, and, a bunch of other stars on there. But with the Colts, you don't really expect them to lose at home, especially against. I mean, this is why Week 1 is so unpredictable here. The Lions go on the road in Week 1, and they've had quarterback issues. I mean, they upgraded for sure, but you didn't expect them just to go inside Indianapolis, especially like a team like Indianapolis, and just go in there and pull off the upset, especially in a high-scoring shootout too. And the other game I actually found intriguing as well, and you probably might disagree with me on this, but in other words, I really don't care, is the Raiders and the Saints. The Raiders coming in on the road, going for the 2-point conversion against the Saints and just capitalizing off of that. I think the most important game for me out of those two is definitely, I'm not going to try to sound local here since we are here in California. It is the Raiders and the Saints, no question. I mean, Derek Carr, Amari Cooper, and that the Raiders' offense is clicking on all cylinders right now.
Yes, but I was a little disappointed in that game for the fact that it once again happened again where you have the officials actually making some bogus calls, and they do that in a lot of these games. They make these bogus calls. And,
it's like that everywhere.
I think that just needs to stop. There was a lot of bogus calls in 3 games that happened on the opening on this Week 1. And for me, it just got to stop. You can't have favoritism in the league. You can't do that.
All right, and then the little I would say what's the word I'm looking for? Honorable mentions. That's it. Honorable mention. The one honorable mention I thought was Jimmy Garoppolo's debut start with the Patriots against the Cardinals. He actually didn't do that bad, honestly.
I was in shock.
Well, I wasn't shocked. I mean, I expected him, maybe like an interception or so, but his passer rating was actually pretty good.
Yes, but also I was in shock to the fact that the Patriots were able to perform the way they were, and this proves to a lot of you Patriots fans, stop sucking on Tom Brady because your team still does good without him.
Well, I mean, come on. I mean, Brady's going to be back in, let's say, 3 weeks' time. Is that we're in 3 weeks' time? And, of course, 3 weeks, when that 3 weeks is come by and it's come and go, they're going to be back all over Tom Brady again. You got to admit that.
This new guy who they have quarterbacking for,
Jimmy Garoppolo.
I like him because he's good. He's good too. You never know. They might just tell Tom Brady, hey, you're going to be on the bench. You're going to be the replacement. He's going to start for you. But I think that
for the next 3 weeks, that is.
The way that the Patriots did, I just think that a lot of these people who are Tom Brady fans, you need to just support your team, not just Tom Brady. Like, that just drives me nuts. You have all these stuff there. Tom Brady, we love you. Tom Brady, we love you. You know what? Shut up and just support your team.
Like, oh my God, Brady, he's our guy. If he can't do it, no one can. Like, honestly, I swear to. I mean, I don't mind the chance for Tom Brady coming back. I mean, that's fine. They can do what they want to do, but sooner or later, I mean, the guy's not getting any younger. I mean, sooner or later, the Patriots fans have to look towards a newer, younger quarterback, and Garoppolo could be that guy. I don't know. It's hard to tell at this point after one game, but it's definitely a step in the right direction for the young man.
And you look at his college record, he did pretty. I can't remember what college he went to, but he did an amazing job in his college career too. And I've heard from high school he was very, 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 very a very good player in high school. But for me as well, looking at this, and I also look at another thing. It's a little off-topic part, but you look at this and you look like you have a lot of these bandwagon fans that come in. You know, they're like Brady, 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 and you see that in basketball too, with people coming in. You made this comment on one of your videos, where you have a lot of people who are fans of other teams, but we like Golden State because of a certain player, and then they come in and it's like they don't even know anything about the team. They just come in and say, I'm gonna give you a jersey, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, and they don't even crap about the team. And then like you see it like the Golden State lost, and then you're like, okay, we're gonna go over here with LeBron James, and we're gonna be Cavaliers fans now, and that drives me nuts.
Well, it's like that everywhere. Not just, football and basketball, but baseball, it is the same thing too. But anyways, that being said, we are going to be moving on.
Okay.
So, Lock Millers, just calm down for a second. We got to move on. We're going to be going to baseball right now. Not just like for the sport, but we're going to talk about a certain individual saying goodbye in like a few weeks' time. And it's going to be really sad to see this person go. And I'm talking about the legendary, the man, the myth, the legend, Vin Scully. So he's going to be saying, his last ball game he will broadcast. And, of course, that'll be the Los Angeles Dodgers regular season finale, regardless of whether they reach the playoffs or not. So the 88-year-old announcer told the the Los Angeles Times that his Hall of Fame career will end on October 2nd in San Francisco. Scully had already said that this will be his final season in the booth after 67 years, but until Tuesday had not announced whether he planned on calling potential postseason games on the radio. So Scully says if he stayed on the air and he would be, and I quote, saying goodbye in a grand opera where you say goodbye 12 different times. His decision basically was not a surprise to the team, and of course Scully has two farewells coming up. First on September 25th during the Dodgers' final home game in the regular season, and then a week later, of course, as I said, in San Francisco. So they're looking for a first World Series appearance since winning the 1988 championship. The Dodgers ended the night with a 4-game lead in the NL West over the Giants. So Scully switched from television to radio in recent years during the playoffs when national broadcasters have exclusive TV rights. So basically, it's not this time. So basically this is what Vin Scully said, and I quote, "I'm going to be saying goodbye at Dodger Stadium with the last game with Colorado, and I will say goodbye in San Francisco, and that will be it." And unquote. So, Lock Miller, I want to ask you this. Are you going to be sad when this man goes into retirement? I know I am for sure.
Oh, hell yeah, I'm going to be sad. Scully was my inspiration for actually going into this career. Come on. You remember when you were a little kid and you heard him? God, you're just like thinking to yourself, this guy has been there forever. And for me, I used to tell all the time, my uncle would be going around, so Nick, are you hungry? Shh, I'm listening to Sully. It's just like one of those things you just can't help it. I'd be like, shh, Sully's talking. And I'd get smacked in the back of my head, and then, my mom would drag me, no, I want to listen to Sully, no! And things like that, because it's just like...
You have a weird family style, that's for damn sure.
Well, it'd be like this, it'd be like, you'd be listening to, I was listening on a little radio that I had, and Sully would be playing, would be on the air just talking and everything, and you'd hear a Dodger game, and you hear my uncle when he would come in, we're Giants fans, and he'd be dragging me away because he didn't want to hear Sully.
Talk about disrespectful, oh my God.
Yeah, well, that's how it's just like, it would just be like that, I got smacked in the head like 20 times, and then if it was a game where Sully was calling the Giants, you'd see all my uncles around me. My Uncle Ernie wearing his flip flops and shorts, which were he was scared to see. My Uncle Wayne and in a manly t-shirt with his flip-flops and shorts on, smoking a cigarette and having a beer in one hand. And then you see my mom, like, just walking down. Is everything okay? Are we all having a good time? My grandma would be in the corner just, like, looking at everyone, just staring. My cousin Gina and cousin Lindsay would be having one of their little fights, like, no, I'm better than you, no, I'm better than you. And then my mom and my aunt would have to go over there and, like, separate them and things like that. And all of those guys would just be, like, just sitting there listening to the radio, telling everyone to go away. And when it was a Giants or a Cardinals game and things like that. And then when it was a Dodgers game, it would be like World War II, and everyone's like saying "fuck you" and cussing and like trying to kick the radio. And there were like 5 times when you would hear somebody doing Dodgers games, where my uncles would literally take the radio, put it in the pool, pull out a certain part of their bodies and pee in the pool.
Okay, well, I didn't want to hear all that, but that's a very interesting story. But I'm going to tell you, okay, I'm going to tell you a little story about what happened, well, not basically what happened to me, but I'll tell you a little bit story of how I started listening to Vin Scully. So, how I actually knew about the guy first time, of course, my dad's a Dodger fan, obviously, and he was basically, a kid in a candy store every time he heard Vin Scully on the radio. And this was, I think, when I first got introduced to him. Maybe I was 6, 7 years old, maybe. I'm not sure exactly. So, okay, so that's like basically when I was first introduced to Vin Scully. I'm going to say he was 66 years old, still doing, the Dodger games and, all that. And basically, when I heard his voice for the first time on the radio, it was just pure broadcasting gold. And, I mean, it doesn't matter, even like today, his voice is still broadcasting gold. He could, like, tell, like, a story about, some things with certain baseball players. And he'd be damn good at telling that story, too. And that was the best part about him. Because, he did the broadcasting all by himself. And he did his research, and he did all these things, before the game. And he was just an entertainer in general, and a very good, manner. I mean, some people are going to say, oh, he's just an old bore, he bores you to death, blah, blah, blah. But to me, though, honestly, he's one of the best stories. He's not just like, he's not just one of the best broadcasters in my book, but I'm going to say this, though. This is probably going to sound a little bit, ironic or maybe weird. But if I was a kid, right, like 6, 7, 8-year-old kid, or if I went back in time, and I wanted somebody to read me a bedtime story, this would be the guy, Vin Scully. That would be, call me weird, I don't care, but I want him reading me a bedtime story, I swear.
Hell, did you hear him we were driving back and we heard him on the radio, and he was talking about when I was a kid, and this was exactly what he said. I remember back when I was a kid going to the ballpark and watching a game with my dad, my uncle. I remember that people weren't yelling boo that much, but I remember the Padres, and this was when the Padres started playing the Giants, and I remember the Padres they actually looked a little better than they do now.
Well, that's of course. Baseball wasn't really, I know it's America's pastime with baseball and all that, but I can't really see that happening. I guess it would make sense back then because not a lot of people had, all the technology. And of course, Vin Scully, 88 years old as he is, he's got a lot of memories, though. He's like one of those wise teachers that you want in the classroom telling a story, as I said before, but as I mentioned, Vin Scully, he's probably going to be one of the greatest sports broadcasters, if not one of the greatest baseball broadcasters of all time. And he's definitely going to be in the Hall of Fame for sure.
Oh, yeah, they're going to have a bust of him right in.
They're going to have some, I'm going to bet you this right now. They're going to have like a statue of his honor or like a memorial or something at Dodger Stadium, along with Vin Scully Avenue.
Yes, with his headgear on and his microphone.
Well, he doesn't really need any headgear, honestly. He just uses the microphone, and that's it.
You've seen the original photos. Now, you've seen the original photos.
Well, today he doesn't really use a headgear, but back then, yeah, that's kind of a different story.
Yes, yeah, so you look at his original photos and stuff. I've seen them where he had the headgear and everything, and just, because that's what they do. Like, it's just something that they do. But when I look at this, like, hey, I'm a Cardinals fan, but you know what? I look at him when he calls these games and stuff, and he just like you see how good he is. And yes, he can do stats better than both me and Kyle. We're not like saying we're bad at stats. It's just the fact that Kyle will probably remember this. We were doing a basketball game back in 2008, and we were playing
somewhere around there.
Yeah, and I called one of the players. I said they were. I called them. Their name was Tate, and I called her Titty. So Kyle probably remembers that. Kyle remembers that.
Yeah, Story got so upset with you that day. I just wanted to cringe.
Yeah, I just couldn't, because I was doing the stats and everything, but then all of a sudden, like, I went to bed. I felt
okay.
Like, I was until 9.
Okay, all right. Well, going back. All right.
And it wasn't what it was supposed to be. And I remember Kyle smacking me in the back of the head for that too.
Well, I didn't smack in the back of the head. I just said, "Wow, are you really that stupid?" That's all I said. But going back to Vin Scully. So as I said before, his final broadcast is going to be in San Francisco. And of course, when you have local TV, the Giants A's baseball games. And okay, I'm going to tell you one thing though. If they don't air Vin Scully's voice during his final broadcast, I'm gonna be so mad that I don't even know what I'm gonna do.
I'm gonna do like what they did in Columbine and just go in there and I'm gonna kill.
No, don't do that. That's mean. Don't be doing that. Come on. I mean, I'll be mad and upset, but I wouldn't go that far. Come on. Cowboy Nick, as I said, you have an evil mind, and I would just watch out on the basis of your health. Basically, that made no sense, but whatever.
Also, I'm gonna say this too. What they need to do for Scully is they need to keep his voice going in the Hall of Fame. So like, every time you go up to a statue, you just hear his voice. Yeah,
I mean, that would definitely make sense, and I would actually be really excited to see that, like in Cooperstown one of these times. But Anyways, moving on here, we have, of course, some college football news as we're going to transition back to football, but on the college side. So, Florida State Seminoles sophomore safety Derwin James is going to miss 5 to 7 weeks after undergoing surgery to repair a torn meniscus in his left knee. So, on Monday, James had the surgery, and Fisher said an accurate timeable return wouldn't be available until after doctors perform the operation. So he has a torn cartilage in his knee, and this is what Fisher said, and he does not have any ACL injury or any structural damage whatsoever, and I quote. And the timeable return means James will miss the second-ranked Seminoles ACC opener against Louisville this week, as well as the games against USF, North Carolina, Miami, and possibly Clemson. And Fisher also said this, and I quote, "We'll do whatever is best for him for Monday," unquote. So your thoughts on this loss not loss, but he's going to be out 5 to 7 weeks with a torn meniscus. So definitely doesn't feel good either.
It doesn't, but he's lucky because with a meniscus, that can heal within that can heal with just, it hurts. Don't get me wrong, I've done that twice. Once when I was playing baseball at Stag, and then once when I was playing football at Stag. I tore my.
All right. Well, if you don't remember, with Derwin James, he's regarded as one of the country's top defensive backs. So this is a huge blow, one way or another.
Yes, but once you go through therapy and the medications they give you, you're like walking out, "Hey, buddy, how you doing?" "Hi." It's one of those things. But you know what? I have to say this. It's going to be a long, hard road, but he's going to be able to come back and do his job. But the one thing is,
in about 5-7 weeks' time, so we're looking like over a month.
Yes, and they're probably, just for his safety, he's not going to like this very much. He's going to have to wear the brace. I'm sorry, the brace is not something you like wearing, but you're going to have to do it just to keep yourself safe.
All right, so the Seminoles held a 36-point lead over FCS Buccaneers. Took me like a little bit to say that. FCS Buccaneers, there we go. at the time of the injury, and Fisher said he wanted to play his starters for 2 series in the second half because of an inconsistent second quarter and a light week of practice. So, who's really to blame here, though? I mean, was it really like a coincidence, or did it just unfortunate that happened, or is like Jimbo Fisher to blame here because he started his players?
You can't blame Fisher. What happens with those injuries? What happens is, okay, excuse me, you practice and when you practice, it's the player's fault. And I'm not being mean to him, but it's the player's fault because when you practice and you do all your exercises and you do all your workouts, you're supposed to cool down. And a lot of players, they don't do that, so their ankles, their feet, and everything like that, they don't get the chance to recover. And when you don't get a chance to recover, and then you go into the game, your muscles and everything are just they're worn out because you were pushing yourself in practice and trying to get yourself ready for this. And then what happens is when they're overrun, it's like overrunning your stereo, it's gonna blow. And that happens and with those kind of injuries, you pushed yourself too hard and you didn't cool down, so you didn't give your muscles and everything a time to relax a little bit, and then it just goes poof. Trust me, I've done that many times on the field, and it's not fun to do. I tore my meniscus and everything. It's not fun to do, and I've been told by many trainers and many doctors and everything like that, sports doctors, you've got to cool down before the game. You got to get a good rest. You don't go to parties. You rest.
Don't be a Johnny Manziel, in other words.
Well, pretty much, yeah. But you've got to get.
And we'll get to him in a bit, though. But right now, we're going to talk about Derwin James' stats. And here was his stats as a freshman. So he was a true freshman, and true freshman means he came out of high school, fresh right out the bat. He was an All-American and third team in the All-ACC selection. And last year, he finished second for Florida State in tackles for losses, sacks, forced fumbles, and recovery. So just imagine what this kid can do for the team, and now with him being out 5 to 7 weeks, you got to look on for somebody who can actually take roll of his absence for a little bit.
Yes, but you have to remember this. If he just did like they tell you, do your cool downs and everything like that, especially with practice, don't push yourself, but don't push yourself to the point where you're going to make your muscles and everything like that just be overwhelmed, because that happens. This also happened a couple before week 1. This happened in a game where you had, and I thought it was a great game too. I thought this was a great game where you had Florida State versus Ole Miss, and you had what's his name from Ole Miss. He tore his rotator cuff he was on the defensive side. He tore his rotator cuff. And as they were taking him off the field, they had the mic on him and everything. He yelled out to his players, "Don't forget about me! Don't forget about me! Don't forget about me!" And you know what? When I saw that, I started crying because I think to myself,
"Don't you forget about me!" Sorry, just came out.
But when I think of Ole Miss, I don't think of a school with that much, getting players with that much confidence. And when you're injured and you're telling your team, stay on target, stay on target, stay on target. Don't forget about what I taught you. Stay on target. You have to give respect to a player like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially when your head is focused on the game and you try to branch everything around you out of the picture and just focus on one task. It's basically baby steps, one step at a time.
Yeah, but when you think about a school like Ole Miss going up against a school like Florida State, and you have a player saying, "Stay on the play," yelling that out to his other guys. When you think of Ole Miss, you don't think of players like that.
Well, obviously not, because you just want to motivate your teammates around you. That's basically what the whole thing is. You see that everywhere, also.
Yeah, but come on, how many times have you seen Ole Miss play and see their defensive players doing that?
I mean, I know somebody in real life who is an Ole Miss fan. He probably would explain that to you, in person, and I'm pretty sure you get a better understanding of what they're saying. Right. So, Well, any Ole Miss fan would tell you the same thing as well, because it's probably their tradition. And basically down there, especially the SEC conference, college football is huge down there. I mean, as much as I'm not a huge fan of the SEC, I know it's kind of overrated and all, but they take it very seriously down there, and you don't want to mess with them when they take it seriously down there. Especially Alabama fans, LSU fans, any kind of those fans in general.
Yeah, and I'll tell you one thing. When you look at the schools down there too, I've actually talked to one of my buddies that you know too, named Daniel. Well, one of our buddies too. I actually had him do something for me, and he said that he did it because he's a good friend of ours. But I had him actually fill out an application to try to, not as a real person, but to try to get into Alabama. Dude, the application is 26 pages. You have to fill out 26 pages, even with a sport, like trying to be a sports player. It's 26, and you have to explain your grade. You have to explain what position you play, where do you play on the field, how do you play on the field, what style do you like to play, and you have to tell them, are you disciplined enough to actually do what we tell you to do?
Well, with a school like that, it doesn't really shock me, and it shouldn't shock you either. So there you go, right?
I'm just saying, when you think about that, you think to yourself, wow.
Exactly. So with that being said, we're going to be out of here on today's show, and hopefully we can try to get another show for you guys this Friday. So hopefully we can do that then, and we'll have some picks for week 2 and whatnot, and we'll probably talk about some other things. I don't know what we're going to talk about, but we'll find out eventually soon. So there will be a show Friday, that's for sure. So, but anyways, we are out of here. Hope you guys did enjoy the video. Don't forget to drop a like if you're new, subscribe if you're new to my channel. It definitely helps my channel to grow out. I'm Kyle the Pug, a.k.a. Kyle Lodi, and of course, thank you guys for joining. Again, Cowboy Nick, you want to sign us off real quick?
Yeah, don't forget, folks, you can also check out another little thing I'm doing. I haven't told Kyle about this. I think I told him about this. Don't forget to check out, the link will be, I have sent it to Kyle. I think I sent it to Kyle. But I'll send it to him as well. This is a new addition to our little thing. It's called the Cowboy Nick's Front Page. It's a page where you can go on here. We'll talk a little bit about the sports and say what you like to see. Go on there, enjoy a little bit of the music and everything like that. It's a page to help Kyle with a little bit of an off branch as well. And don't forget to check out Kyle's other pages, such as his gaming page where he does a lot of games. And by the way,
that's my YouTube channel, of course, and that's you guys know about that.
Yeah, and don't forget, and Kyle, by the way, if you ever call out me, if you ever call out a gamer, and he knows what I'm talking about in one of his videos, where every time you saw that scary clown, you called out, hey, look, there's Cowboy Nick. If I ever find you doing that again, I swear I will.
Well, he kind of does. Oh, you're talking about Emily wants to play. Yeah, he kind of does look like you. But anyways, we got to head off here. Thank you guys so much for joining. I'm Kyle the Pug, and I will see you guys in the next video. Same time, same place. So have a good day, and as always, stay safe. Peace!
Cowboy Nick is a douchebag.
You've been out all night, I don't know where you've been. You're slurring all your words, not making any sense, but I don't fucking care.